You have to understand the value of who we are as a human. So if we really think about it, we this comes down to our basically our DNA. And there was a great power that created this earth, that created architecture, that created nature, that created our human us, and down to our DNA. We all believe in some higher power. And if we think about it, we are all, every human on earth has the same, pretty much the same physical structure that ties into that Fibonacci relationship, the golden ratio. As you see in your country, the architecture is all over nature. It just is. And essentially, in a human being, it comes down to their DNA. And their DNA is basically the software that operates our whole entire body and what creates our body. So a micro, smaller than a cell, controls the technology, if you think of it that way, that created the human body. And it's humans that created these structures. And it's also that higher power that created the humans and nature. So if we think about it, everything is tied together. Everything is one. Does that make sense? In our DNA is the code. It's literally the coding for our whole entire body. And if they were to take a pinhead, a microscopic of a dot on a pinhead and put our DNA, that would take nearly 700 to 1,000 terabytes. That's like writing code and filling books that go from the floor to literally up to the clouds or higher to the ends of where oxygen is. Books of code. That's what's in our own body. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of books of code per cell in our body of information. So I want you to look at what our value is as a human being and the gifts that we have on how we can be better. If we were to hire a company to create the human cell, the DNA, and have that coded so it can create a human body, it would probably cost 10 or 20 billion dollars to do that. And as of this time right now in the world, the human race cannot figure, still cannot, all the billions invested, they cannot figure how to recreate DNA to create a human body. Meaning that what each one of us possesses, there's no price tag. Are we growing and seeking to grow and achieving, or are we staying negative or staying low? That's the question. Those that stay low and don't use this technology never receive anything. Those of you, and I know you're growing and you're building, realize you have value in your own body. Why not work at the highest limits possible? You have the ability. If you look back, the pyramids, although they're some of the greatest structures in the world, you are the greatest structure in the world. There is nothing that ever can be duplicated. You can't be duplicated. Meaning, why not do something great? Why not you be the great pyramid of your culture? And you become the rising star, and you become the shining star, and elevate others. You understand the power that we are given. We cannot be replicated. It's amazing how we're all connected. But I really want us to start changing the way we think and start going into being a creative mode. Just like 5,000 years ago, somebody came up with an idea to create those big pyramid structures. They were in the creative mode. They wanted to create. They wanted to create and build and last forever. You want to create a new mindset, a new energy, a new punch in your hand, a new feeling. And when you start to create a better feeling, everything just starts to feel better. You guys can build a massive, massive community. But you do have to think back at the ancient generations on how they created for today. Why can't you guys create today for tomorrow?